In every major war, there are famous battlefields everyone talks about. They fill the books, documentaries, and classroom lessons. But far from those well-known places, there was another front line that almost no one remembers today. It was a quiet, isolated stretch of land where soldiers fought not just the enemy, but hunger, storms, fear, and the feeling of being completely forgotten. Their struggle shaped the war in ways most people have never heard about. This overlooked front line ran through remote mountains, lonely forests, and harsh coastlines where supplies were scarce and help was never guaranteed. The soldiers who served there often felt abandoned by their own leaders. Many wrote home saying the wind felt louder than any friendly voice and the nights seemed longer than the war itself. Still, they stayed. They knew that giving up even a small position could open the way for the enemy to sweep into undefended territory. Life on this front looked nothing like the dramatic battles recorded in history. There were no tank columns or grand offensives, no crowds cheering, just cold, mud, and a constant low hum of fear. Days passed slowly as soldiers watched empty landscapes, wondering whether the silence meant safety or danger. The threats they faced were not always bullets. Sometimes it was the freezing air that burned their skin, or the hunger that gnawed at them, or the endless isolation that weighed heavily on their minds. Most of these soldiers were young and inexperienced. Many had never even touched a weapon before being sent to this remote region. They had to teach themselves how to survive, how to keep their shelter standing, how to find food when the supply lines failed. If someone got hurt, the nearest medic could be days away, and even small injuries became life-changing risks. Yet this forgotten front line quietly held back enemy forces. It became a shield the rest of the war depended on. These scattered units protected communication routes and supply convoys. Without their steady, unseen resistance, the larger and more famous battles might have ended very differently. Their endurance helped shape the outcome of the entire conflict. History rarely acknowledges them. There are no monuments for the soldiers who froze during night watch or carried heavy loads across endless wastelands because no vehicle could reach them. They stood their ground without expecting recognition. Most days passed without seeing a single enemy. But when the fights did come, they were sudden and brutal. Ambushes appeared out of fog. Gunfire echoed through narrow mountain passes, and soldiers defended outposts with whatever ammunition they had left. Every moment demanded quick thinking and courage. They also built much of the essential infrastructure under terrible conditions. They dug trenches into frozen soil, climbed cliffs to fix communication lines, and kept observation posts working through violent storms. In many ways, they became experts at surviving nature as much as surviving the enemy. When the war finally ended, most of them quietly returned home. Many felt no one would believe the things they had endured. Others simply wanted to leave those memories behind. Over time, their stories faded into dusty diaries and scattered letters. But the truth remains. This forgotten front line was just as real and important as any famous battlefield. It stood like a silent wall, holding back danger even when no one was watching. Remembering their struggle reminds us that history is shaped not only by the battles everyone knows, but also by the quiet courage of those who fought in the shadows, far from recognition. So if you like this video, don't forget to share this video with your friends. And subscribe this channel, also like this video.